Okay, welcome back to day 215. But guess what day it is? It is the anniversary of Sauna. So fun fact, it's been a year since I put that, well, I was gonna say since I put that video out there, but they did take it down. Repeatedly, you know? It was a brief existence, but it existed. It still is a very big issue, isn't it? Coronavirus. No joke. I guess that means it's been a year and 3 months or so. Yeah, a month and three, no, a year and 3 months since I saw my dad. Yeah, that was, fun. I'm tired. I just spent the last 5 hours talking to someone. My ear was really red because I had headphones on it and then decided to scratch it with slightly allergenic hands. That was a bad idea. And I was like, hey bud, I'm not having a good time. Anyways. Yeah, is there any words left after 215 days to say about a video that you watched 215 times? No, I don't think there is. Also, if you're like, right now it's 215, I did watch it twice. That was not recorded. So, I will round to 215. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Anyways. I wonder how it would look if they chugged water instead of a Baja Blast. But on the other hand, another note, on the other brainwave, I don't want to know because I don't want to care, you know? I could do a sheet of paper. Okay, so I was thinking of embroidering, a plant. I was thinking of peace lily. I know it's like a little, anyways, I was thinking of peace lily because my friend made a funny joke about peace lilies. But I wanted to make a pot like this, or pretty much like a smooth pot, right? A smooth plastic pot. But the person who actually did a free tutorial, like, oh my god, a free tutorial on how to do it. It was on YouTube, and I looked up tutorials for how to make peace lilies, and obviously you put a lot of effort into making patterns. You should sell them. You did a lot of work for them. It's deserved. But she put it up on YouTube for free. For free. So I'm like, oh my god, yeah, of course I want to look at this. So look, they had every step from materials you need, and then how to outline, and then how to do the pot, the flower, and then the leaves. Like, oh my god. They made that on like 3 different pieces of fabric. because I did the tutorial on 3 different pieces of fabric. Oh my god, I was like, that's amazing. So I'm like low-key, I'm like I should do that. So I don't know what fabric I do. I don't know how it would be. Like low-key, I kind of just want to make it. You know? My cat is licking his shoulder and you gotta make so much noise? I'm kidding, you're freaking adorable. My dog is still acting, or my sister's dog is still acting weird to me until I sit in this chair. Like, I get up, like, from my bed. I get up, come downstairs, instantly upset. Today I went to my other, like, by my actual computer, and I'm sitting there, and I'm on it for, like, 5 hours. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Come back in here, and he's acting grumpy again. Grumpy, aggressive. And I'm like, my sibling wipes off the chair, I sit down, he comes, sits next to me, looks like a good boy, so I don't know where peaches and cream. No. Peachy keen. So I don't know where it's peachy. We're fine. So, I don't know what it was, or why it was, but some reason, he just gets upset. And then he just stops. So, anyways, I don't know what I would do. So if I get a piece of fabric, I embroider it. I guess I'd put it in a frame if I can. Like, no glass front in a frame. I could. I could try. I don't know how big I could make it. It'd be a lot more work, but I'd love if it was not huge. I think that could be cute, but I guess too small and oh, I need to call that lady. And I didn't even bring my freaking computer in, despite literally being like, oh my god, I need to do this, I need to do this. And I didn't do it because my siblings were like, oh my god, I didn't realize you needed me. And I'm like, we made a deal that I call, you bring it in. What part of that was I bring it in? None of it. So I'm like, okay. Anyways, oh my god. So, listen. I think there was something more with Mark being annoying, but we're gonna move past that. Like whatever he recently uploaded, I don't know. He recently uploaded the Chica thing too, which was cute, but not the point. The point was that I was watching the Meme Time, a recent Meme Time with Jacksepticeye, after coming back from him being on break because of asthma and not feeling well and being sick, and that sucks. I hate that. Like, I'm not saying that. But Jack is one of these people that latches onto an idea and just, like, doesn't do anything more than surface level thought of it. Like, he doesn't look into it or think why or anything about that. It's just, like, very surface level. Here's the issue for me. Is, actually, I want to plug this in. get in. There you go. Let's take this out. Anyways, so pretty much my friend showed me this Bo Burnham music score of, he is in his apartment. It's his new thing, his new Netflix thing. And it's like, he's in an apartment, and I shouldn't have done that. Okay, that's fine. Okay. In his apartment, and he talked about mental illness or mental health and everything. And I'm not saying that his experiences are wrong. I'm not saying that him doing this is wrong or bad. But what gets me is that pretty much in one song, the only song that I fully heard, where you can find anything on the internet, or anything's on the internet, everything's on the internet, I don't know, something. And pretty much, I kind of was already annoyed, because at the very beginning, or closer to the beginning, he mentions teens are in charge of everything on the internet. And no matter if they're protesting or trying to protest, meaning like it doesn't work, why are you doing it, to if they're, and he uses the word horny, and I'm like, and it just reminded me of in that meme time, which was a very, very cool takes in that meme time, where Jack mentions the same thing and uses the same word, and I'm like, and then he mentions the Bo Burnham thing, and I'm just like, you did just lifted that right out of his song. You did. You did. And it really got to me because, this person, Bo, is saying that he's trying to be an activist. Obviously not everyone on the internet actually is trying to be an activist. But I'm saying that, like, the fact that they're kind of saying, oh, well, why are you protesting or being, like, taking stands, it means nothing. And in that same breath of quoting this song, Jack also talks about cancel culture, which is a problem because it's a mob mentality, and people can't make their own decisions anymore, blah, blah. It's people deciding to not watch an individual person or company. You know, it's like, it's so, suddenly, blah, blah. And it's like, I'm not saying that the internet is perfect. I'm not saying people on it are perfect. I mean, again, a few months ago, freaking Dan Avedon from the Game Grumps was accused of very serious things and was disproven on literally every single point. And it's like, baseline look things up would have showed you that none of those were real or good screenshots to prove that this existed or happened. And it's just like the idea that the internet takes everything at face, or people on the internet take things at face value. Well, that's not the internet's fault, and that's not the quote-unquote teenagers that are in charge of being the same. We are saying that it's teenagers in charge, and maybe, but I think the internet is also aiding with us, this generation like mine, Because previously, in the early 2000s, you couldn't advertise it to a 70-year-old. The internet. 70 still, like, iffy about it. But, like, my dad, our parents were like, oh, cringe, are on Facebook. I was like, well, they got the internet. They do. And, like, even farther, eventually everyone will be, like, it just needs to age in. And you're like, it's one of those things where it's like, the same thing happened with electricity. You might not believe it. I known someone who grew up in a house that did not have electricity because he lived with his grandmother who never got it. Because she thought, what's the point? I'm not going to learn it. I'm not going to make it in my house. And I'm not going to freaking trust, like, stoves. Like, she did everything by herself and she ironed everything. It was next to a fire. She lit candles to see. Like, no electricity. Because she didn't grow up on it and she didn't want it. Fair. Good for you. Love that for you. So she grew up without electricity, and then the grandson that she raised, who was old enough to be like a grandfather age to me, he grew up without electricity. And he talked about when he became old enough to move out, he had to deal with electricity for the first time. He had to learn everything. And he was young, so it was okay. But the older crowd, his grandmother, they weren't even asking her to. It was one of those things where it's like, eventually we'll age into it. And yeah, ask your grandparents. Oh, have you ever considered that the generation or two before you wasn't advertised to be with electricity? Anyways, the point was that I got really mad at halfway through that Bo Burnham song that I heard because A, it reminded me of that really, really bad Jacksepticeye takes because apparently it started with him, Bo. But it was, I'm pretty sure that he's like, instead of being like, there's a lot of sexual harassment on the internet, he went the road of, there's a lot of sexual harassment on the internet, but it's not really harassment because I think, I can't remember the correct word that he used, but pretty much, you're thirsty and you want it. They don't mind getting dick pics, but like he's talking about a woman. And that made me so mad, like really mad, that he sings as this woman character, like, oh, I got a dick pic again, and then switches back to him being a guy, and goes, but you want it, don't you? It's like, no. You know what we can do? We can look up dicks ourselves. If we don't need anybody to be like, here's a dick pic. Anyone that's into dicks can just look up dicks. It's very easy, just like you can look up boobies. You do realize it's very easy. Very, very easy. So, that part really got to me. That got to me so much. I feel so bad. That was so unbelievably awful take. And he's singing from a place of privilege, and he's singing about this, his culture on the internet. It's by the way, it's been long over. The place on the internet as himself, which is a white cis guy. I know he has a girlfriend or wife or something, so maybe I don't know enough about him. Maybe even a straight cis white guy that's well off. Like, you pretend like you know it, and then just you don't know it, you pretend like, oh wait, I got dick pic, and then you instantly switch out of it and be like, but you want it, and kind of thing. Where I'm like, and it got me so